controlling BlindSquare information. While working with BlindSquare, you'll find that you get lots of information, and you'll want to be able to control the amount of information and the type of information you get. There are two things that you will need to look at. First of all is the radius. How far distance away from you do you want information? And secondly is the search filters, information for different categories. First of all, we'll look at the radius. So at the top of the BlindSquare main menu, I'm going to swipe right with one finger to find the radius.
Add place, tools, Foursquare, other, filter and mute speech, 25 meters, adjustable.
So BlindSquare says my radius is 25 meters, which means if I'm standing in the middle of a circle, BlindSquare will go out as far as 25 meters and tell me what's there. My right, my left, front, and back. So now I can extend that distance.
Search places within radius of 60 meters. My places. Search places within radius of 60 meters. Adjustable.
So if I swipe up with one finger,
distance 100 meters. 125 meters. 175 meters.
I can expand it.
200 meters. 500 meters. 900 meters. 1.3 kilometers. 1.6 kilometers. 2 kilometers. 2 kilometers.
And that's 2 kilometers. So if I was driving in a car or on a bus, I might want to set it to a kilometer or 2 kilometers so I can see what is in a considerable distance from me. However, if I'm walking, it's better to set the distance to a lower level. I'm going to move it to the bottom.
Distance 1.6, 1.3, 900, 500, 200, 100 meters. 60 meters. 25 meters.
So I put it down to 25 meters. And as you're walking down the street, you will get information about street names and businesses that are close to you. If you go inside a building where there is BlindSquare beacons, you may want to set the radius to 25 meters to avoid getting interruptions from outside GPS signals. Secondly, I want to look at the search filters. There's a number of categories that BlindSquare uses to provide information to you. And you can tell BlindSquare by setting the filters that you want everything coming to you, that it brings down from Foursquare cloud sourcing, and everything from street maps. Or you can narrow your filter by specifying the categories. So I'm going to go back up.
Mute speech. Filter announcements. None. Button.
So I got filter announcements is set to none. So BlindSquare is not going to give me any information. So if I was in a building where there's beacons, I would probably set it to none so that BlindSquare wouldn't pick up any of the outside signals from GPS. I'm going to double tap.
Speech off. Speech on. Button. Filter announcements. None. Button. Filter announcements. None. Back. Button.
So on the filter announcements,
BlindSquare reports. Heading.
So as I swipe down,
none. Picker item. Adjustable.
I come to a picker item, which means I can swipe up and down with one finger to make an adjustment. Right now it's set to none, and I'm going to swipe down.
Places only.
Places only, meaning BlindSquare will only tell me places.
Streets and my places.
Streets and my places, so BlindSquare will announce street names and only those places that I've created for myself.
My places.
Just my places.
Streets only.
Streets only.
All.
Or all. So if I leave it at all, I'm going to get everything that BlindSquare can drag down from Foursquare and street maps.
Announce address automatically. Switch button. Off.
And you can get BlindSquare to automatically announce the places.
Automatically announced categories. 11 of 11. Heading.
So as I go down, I see that I have automatically announced categories, and I've got 11 set of 11. So I'm going to go down and see what the categories are.
Selected. My places. Button.
So I got my places selected.
Selected. Shared places. Button.
Shared places are those places that other people have created and shared with me.
Selected. Arts and entertainment. Button. Selected. College and university. button,
Now, if there's any of these items that I'm really not interested in and I don't want BlindSquare tell, I can just double tap that.
college and university, off,
So that category is off.
selected, food, button,
So I leave food
selected,
and
nightlife spot, button, selected, outdoors and recreation, button,
I could double tap that.
outdoors and recreation, off, selected, professional and other places, button, professional and other places, off, selected, residence, button, selected, shop and service, button, selected, travel and transport, button, select all, button,
So I can select all or
deselect all,
deselect all. Now if I go back to the top,
back, BlindSquare, all, announce address automatically, automatically announced categories, 8 of 11, heading,
so BlindSquare tells me I have 8 out of 11 selected now. And that will help to reduce the amount of information that BlindSquare gives to you. So by setting your radius and by setting your search filters, you can control the amount of information that BlindSquare brings to you.
announce address automatically, all, picker item, adjustable, streets only, my places, streets and my places, places only, none,
So I set my setting back to none for now so BlindSquare won't interrupt us.
BlindSquare reports, heading, back,
I
button,
double tap on the back button
back, search, button,
and that brings us back to the BlindSquare main menu.